So this is how I color stuff. I pick the skin color first because that's the first thing I always do. Try to get the skin right for every character. Um, so yeah, I use the paint bucket to fill the area. Just click all layers and you can do that in Photoshop. And then I just go and explore in colors what I wanna paint. Since I haven't drawn any Assassin's Creed Revelations stuff before, so I don't know the colors. I'm just going by the reference shot I got and just try to find the colors for it and find the colors that match the comic. I tend to try to get the colors as matte as possible, you know, not too colorful, but still not too gray and boring. And some colors like the red here is kind of hard to not to do because red is always going to be red, and you need different shades of it, but it's still going to be very bright. So yeah, like you see here, not much detail. I'm not going into details, shadows and stuff like that until later on. Coloring for me is also the period where I can just, you know, see where I need to put shadows and where I need to emphasize color a bit more or a bit less. Because I try to use very light colors because I know with the shadows and all. Um, oh, see, I did a mistake there. Yeah, with all the colors, the shadows are gonna be very powerful and very darkening effect on the colors. So I try to use very light colors so the shadows can make the darkness happen instead of me using colors uh, as darkness. Like the hood here, as you can see, it becomes very dark already with dark colors, but sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes, well, sometimes you have to do what is necessary for the comic, even if it's breaking the color code of a character or you know a design or something. Um, as you can see, yeah, here's the beard. The beard is kind of hard because he has this streamed white in his beard. It's like the transition of young beard versus old beard, and so I just picked a gray color and used a little bit lighter gray and did streams so it looks like it's turning gray on him. Um, Same for the hair. I did a little bit darker hair. Put some thought into it. I didn't want it to be too dark because it's turning gray. So I did a couple of streams like this and put it into the black hair. And just to get that, you know, gray thing. Maybe it looks like he's have shiny black hair, but yeah. On Altair here, I just did. I changed the white to different kind of light gray because I didn't want him to be like all bright white because he isn't quite white in the screenshots. It's white that has been dirtied down. Uh, for the knights, pretty boring palette, but you know, some red here and just trying to figure out gray and browns, trying to do different grays on the helmet and stuff. But also here, the shadows is gonna play a big part in the whole image. Um, and since I know I'm working with shadows, I can, you know, let go of the color choices and just, you know, do what is necessary because it may not look like it now, but it's gonna look awesome later on. when the shadows and ambient shadows is applied to this comic. Um, Also in coloring, as you can see, there is no um there's no logos, there's no details and stuff. Yeah, and here I am missing some details, I can see. Yeah, sometimes you miss stuff. You miss stuff when you do drawings and, oh, I have to add this, and you can do it easily. Because when coloring, you can see where you have missed to fill in the colors, or where you have forgotten to draw stuff and stuff like that. Here I do some details. This is not necessary, it's just me being very picky. It's not necessary to do all the details on his wrist here and stuff like that. But yeah, sometimes when you do a large picture or doing art, in very high scale, then this will be visible. In webcomics, you don't have to do this. Not really. You don't really have to do this. But, as I said before, I have a problem with details. I am too picky. I always do too much detail. Like this. I did this ugly looking bird, just to, have something on the chest there, instead of just a blank gray metal piece. So yeah, ugly, it doesn't have to be detailed, just something. Even on Altair's wrist here, I'm doing something, just making small details, but it's not gonna show in the comic. So now I'm doing the Knights logo. This one is necessary because it is visible. It's visible, it shows, it's even in the trailer. I watched the trailer, paused it, and looked at it. It's like a dragon, a kind of thing. I just did the closest thing I could to it, scaled it, and then I just put it on their chest, lower the opacity, and just, took out what wasn't necessary to do. And there you have it. And yeah, see, I forgot the blades. Yeah, and now I'm doing a little bit of different shading like that. And now I take, yeah, I think I am, no, I'm not. I'm doing the shadows now. Okay. I work so fast I can't even catch up. I'm doing the shadows, simple shadows, not the ambient. I'm just doing simple shadows where shadows would fall, like from, if you have a thing that from the belt here, from clothes and armor and stuff like that, where it should be. It doesn't matter which kind of lighting from or which source. I'm just doing the basic shadowing, so it gets a little bit of a depth to the image. So this is just a simple shadow. I use multiply. I not totally black, but like almost black, and then I lower the opacity to 41%, and then I just go to town and do the simple shadowing like this. I mean, alter his shadow here, from his coat, his bag and stuff like that, his arm and everything else here. So it's just the basic shadowing. As you can see, it's not much. It's visible in some areas, but it helps to sell the image, that it's more detailed than it really is. Shadows can help you do that very quickly and very easily. So now I take the color layer and just copy it, paint it all black, fixing the details here, so because you can't probably see it, because but it's not all entirely black, so I'm fixing it. And then I take the gradient tool, because this is gonna be at night. I'm using a blue gradient to black to catch that night feeling. Normal I decided for, and to about 5%. Then I copy the color layer again, and now I'm doing lighting. I do light. I take the eraser and go over the characters and just erase what I think is the moonlight, which should be where the light source is coming from. It's a simple, easy way. I call it ambient shadow because it's shadow of all the characters. It's just, erasing so the light shows where the light strikes the characters. Easy technique is just, copy the color layer and uh, paint it all black. And yeah, detailed tutorial maybe later on, I don't know. But as you can see, I lower it and fix it, and there you go, a colored version of the comic. Like I said, I do backgrounds later on, but this is how I color comics. Yeah, peace out.